Могу только миллион попыток то сделать, а потом сделать. Просто в программе.
Coach and choreographer Daniil Gleichenko spoke about his emotions after Adelia Petrosyan's sixth-place finish at the Milan Olympics. Did you have time to reflect during your vacation in Italy? I experienced the emotions and disappointment right there. Naturally, the first few days after the Olympics were tough. I tried not to leave my closet. I definitely spent the entire day without going outside. It's simply cumulative fatigue, emotional burnout. A lot of stress and energy was spent on preparation. And, of course, this Petrosyan's sixth-place finish isn't the result I wanted. Obviously, the way the season unfolded, the circumstances, injuries, difficulties in preparation, we weren't going there expecting to win. Like we went to the previous two Olympics completely confident we were going for gold, or even all three places. There wasn't that feeling here, but you always have that desire and hope, so you're still a little disappointed that we weren't able to reach the level we've always demonstrated. It's more about the coaching feeling that we couldn't confirm our status as the best team in women's singles on the world stage. How did Camila Valieva leave your group? And why? Life just works out that way. Everyone feels or decides at some point what's best for them. Camila came to say goodbye, to announce her decision. We hugged, had a normal conversation, and listened to her side of the story, her opinion on why it was happening. But we also understood at that moment that there were preconditions for this. Given the amount of time and effort she spent on Tanya Navka's show, and the way they interacted, the way she surrounded her with care, everything was leading up to this. Did you accept it easily? How can you accept anything easily? It's just that Camila's story is special here, because she's the kind of girl we had to push around or raise our voices at. It was never necessary during training. So, no real conflicts ever arose. It was always a fruitful collaboration. And the way Terry Georgievna always spoke about her in interviews, this whole situation, of course, shattered that relationship. And in any case, it was traumatic for everyone, Camila and us, the coaching staff. I'm not talking about her departure, but about the doping situation. And the entire Olympics, it was a minor turning point. For an athlete, a young, little girl, a minor, this couldn't have gone unnoticed. I'm sure it was simply difficult for her, maybe even psychologically. Coming to training and seeing us all the time, perhaps she felt it would be psychologically easier for her to have a change of scenery, and that it would give her some new emotional charge. It's just frustrating, but you understand and accept it. Coach and choreographer Daniil Gleichenko spoke about Alisa Voglazova's condition. In the spring, the skater suffered a hip injury. Regarding Alisa, we were talking about whether if they only let us in as juniors, then it makes sense for her to go junior. If they let us in as seniors, why would she go junior? There's less competition, so she can improve her rankings and get the titles she missed out on over the past 4 years. I don't think the competition for girls and juniors is much less. That's also true competing with the best. First of all, Alisa is recovering from her injuries. She hasn't even been on the ice yet. We're taking our time here and following all the doctor's recommendations, because with injuries like these, you can't allow a relapse. You need to sit out the entire period the doctors require. From start to finish, she hasn't even been on the ice yet. And talking about any competitions in August or September is pointless. What will happen to Ilia Molinen? I don't know, maybe a documentary. To the sky and back, something like that, haha. 4.5 meters above heaven, yeah, haha. Above the level of the raspberry, haha. And in terms of sport, I don't know, it's hard for me to speculate, but I think he has every right to some kind of understanding of what happened to him. If he needs to recover psychologically and take a break from figure skating, with his talent, he can easily afford it. If he doesn't go to the Grand Prix, I don't see anything special about it, it's completely normal. I also believe he can afford to take a year off from skating and then go back to being Ilia Molinen, because he's super talented. Do you believe he can win the next Olympics? Of course. I think it's highly likely. If he keeps skating, he won't make the same mistakes he did. He'll be more experienced, more confident, and will know how to prepare and handle himself at the Olympics. Remember Nathan Chen? When he went to the Olympics, which he didn't win, everyone also predicted he'd win, if not exactly, then fight for it, and he blew his short program so badly, just like Ilia blew his free program. And 4 years later, Nathan Chen was a completely different guy at the Olympics. Not in terms of jumps or skating that, of course, improved, but I mean mentally. The way he looked, the way he prepared, the way he skated his programs, it was all completely based on experience, confidence, and a complete understanding of what was happening. Still, you can't underestimate that the Olympics are a different competition. And here, I think they failed to explain, perhaps Ilia and his team weren't prepared for it. And the kind of attention he received was unprecedented in figure skating during the Olympics. Only Yulia Lipnitskaya had anything comparable. Three-time world figure skating champion Ilia Molinen spoke about the upcoming changes in his career. The American released a teaser for the new season with clips of his performances on the ice. At the end of the video, the words Vision 2030, Part 1, 26-27th season, coming soon appear. Hello, friends. I'd like to talk a little. A lot has happened in the last few years, and I want to say that I'm very grateful for both what I've done myself and what those around me have done to help me get to this point. I never thought I'd do this now, but it feels like the time has come. I've always believed that every end is the beginning of something new. The time has come for something new, for something different, Malinin said in the video. The 2030 Winter Olympics will be held in the French Alps. Honored coach of the Russian Federation Alexander Zhulin believes that Olympic medalist Alexandra Trusova is ready for a leadership role in the new season. The skater trains with Eteri Tutberidze's group, which three-time Russian champion Adelia Petrosyan previously left. Is there pressure on Trusova after Petrosyan's departure? Trusova is an accomplished athlete with extensive experience, a star. She's been through the Olympics, where there's always a lot of pressure. Therefore, the potential leadership role won't weigh on her. I think she'll represent the Tutberidze school with dignity in the new season, Zhulin said. Three-time Olympic champion Irina Rodnina believes it's too early to talk about the prospects of Alexandra Ignatova Trusova and Camila Valieva after their return. It's hard to say who's the season favorite in women's skating. There's some turbulence there right now. A showdown between Trusova and Valieva. It's foolish to expect a Trusova-Valieva duel in the new season. There are other names. Returning skaters need to skate at least 1 or 2 programs to understand their potential. They won't snap their fingers and return to the podium. It's a lot of work, Rodnina said. 2018 Olympic silver medalist Evgenia Medvedeva criticized fans who believe she's still bitter about her loss at the Pyeongchang Games. I understand where all this. Medvedeva is sick of whining. She's been struggling with her Olympics for 8 years now, all that stuff, because there's a lot of it on TikTok. And people apparently mostly scroll through their TikTok feeds. I don't know. I don't talk about the Olympics that often. I'll tell you more. I don't give a damn about them anymore. 8 years have passed. My mind has changed. I really don't care. I can joke about the silver, but that's just hilarious. Okay, I made a joke and moved on, but you made this clipping and wrote, "Look, Medvedeva made another joke. She can't live without it. She's been suffering for 9 years. Have pity on Genya." My point is, people like to chew on things, and people will chew on what interests them, not what interests me. And it doesn't matter how I present myself in the media, how I position myself in life. I can praise someone or express my opinion as much as I want. People will chew on exactly what interests them.